So Chuck says Raheem Morris has clearly identified his message to the critics. He's talking to you. You're a critic for the next 8 months. What would that line be?
Well, it's pretty obvious beginning immediately after the loss to the awful Carolina Panthers at home on Sunday, what that was going to be. Raheem, plus the front office, the marketing department, the other players. This is about to be a full offseason of we got it right with Penix, and he's the now, he's the future, he's the everything. Now, it's bold to be that out front with it. It's declarative. Not a lot of gray area for if you get it wrong, but it also is a really good approach just in general to push the young quarterback, especially if we don't know he's bad yet or he hasn't been injured. Like if it's still possible that what you're saying is true, and with Penix, we've seen some. Really good approach, push the first-round QB and how he'll transform the franchise. And here's the thing. I understand it's a strategy. I also can't really push back on any of that. This was after the game Sunday. Now, a lot of what Raheem says is Raheem, but he says, really proud of the youngster quarterback keeping us in the game. Light at the end of the tunnel for us. This is it, folks. He verbalizes. Light at the end of the tunnel for us is the QB. The organization, we have a quarterback that's bright. He's our future. He can go out there, make any single play, win any game, blah, blah, blah. A lot of QBs can do that. He looks advanced, and he should be. He's older. He should be. He's played a lot of college football at the highest level. But everything that Raheem Morris was saying after the game, and then even after he met the media when they got back to Flowery Branch the next day, all of it might be true as well. It's the right approach, and it's the right strategy, and it's good marketing, and it's a way to keep yourself employed for an extra season maybe. But it also might be true with Penix.
It might be true, but it's just from a promotional marketing standpoint, it's the easiest thing and the smartest thing. But I think they won't stop at Penix. I told you, I think they're going to highlight all three. I think they're going to push. Do we do billboards anymore? Is that a thing?
Airtran does.
We don't.
If we don't. Wow. Holy cow. Did you just go after the radio station of not spending money on marketing, putting us on billboards? Is that what you just did?
You read into it a lot, but
I know. It was pretty clear what you just did. Point is, TV spots, billboards, whatever. It's going to be Penix, Bijan, Drake. You're going to get this. They'll come up with a catchy nickname. We can't be the triplets. That's already been taken. They'll do something where you hear about those three, and they're smart to do that. They play glamour positions. They're exciting. They're sexy. From a football standpoint, I said the same thing yesterday that I'll say to you guys today. None of it will matter. It will not matter. And I'm not going to use the Bengals as an example to tell the whole story, but they're the latest example of Joe Burrow just had an MVP quality year. Jamar Chase just had a year for the ages. Forgive me for not knowing what is their running back situation, but you can't get much better offensively than what the Bengals had at the quarterback and the wide receiver, and I'm sure the running back spot is fine. And they won 8 games or 9 games, whatever the Bengals ended up winning. The Falcons have so much stuff that is not yet right, and that's the head coach, and that's the GM, and that's the defensive line, and that's the linebacker core, and that's the cornerbacks. That it's great that they'll have those things and they're smart to push them. You're right. Doesn't mean you're going to win. And at some point, that marketing element wears off a year or two.
Absolutely, but that's when the season starts. Yeah. I'm talking for the next 8 months, smart. And I don't think he'll even expand it much beyond Penix because you don't. Shouldn't. If you're a coach who's catching heat and not to get fired or hot seat, but it's like, damn, Raheem, that was a really, let's say, either you didn't seem involved or you had some bad moments.
Like would you agree Bijan's better and Drake's better at this point than anything Penix would be able to? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. However, a coach who has been facing criticism and would like to kind of beat that back, you don't do it with guys who, first of all, are running backs and wide receivers, and secondly, who have already been here. Like, we already knew we had Drake and Bijan, and they looked like they look. Didn't know Bijan was going to be this great, this immediate. But quarterbacks, it's time tested. If you've got a QB, we always say that's the reason that you can get, if you have a head coaching position open, we've got the QB, we've got the best one. If you got the quarterback in the NFL, it really can change things, and it can change the message. I think over the next 8 months, we already knew about Drake and Bijan.
They have no choice but to push Penix. We don't know what Penix will be, but 3 games were rather intriguing.